Hello and welcome to AidanEyewitness. In this video we're going to take a ride around the Merseyrail network. I've been planning this for a while, and we're going to look at a brand new station that opened yesterday. I'm also going to do a tour around the Metrolink in Manchester pretty soon as well. Now, Liverpool has got an amazing railway heritage, but much of it is buried and forgotten. The Mersey railway tunnel runs directly under the river where I'm standing, from the Wirral to the Liverpool side. The Liverpool Overhead Railway, sadly missed, but I have a plan, and it involves a monorail.
Birkenhead Woodside, once a busy railway terminal linked to the ferry, closed 1967, now mostly forgotten. This model depicts Woodside Station in the 1930s. Can you see that stepped wall next to the tracks? It's still there today. If you listen hard, you might hear the sound of the steam engines echoing down the decades. Let's walk up to the bridge and take a look at the trains, the tracks and the station. Oh, a car park, and an office block, and some trees. From the other side of the bridge, the rail tunnel leading south, empty and overgrown, like many around Liverpool. But what's this ornate tower? It's part of Hamilton Square Station, Grade 2 listed, opened 1886. You'd almost think you're in Florence. Well, maybe not. You're in Birkenhead. The sign proclaims, frequent electric trains. That's because the early trains were steam. Electric arrived 1903. When you enter, make sure you look up at the tower through the glass roof. Now we will head across the river to Liverpool South Parkway. That's the East Midlands train from Nottingham, now departing for Lime Street, revealing a contemporary style station. The design is high-tech. It reminds me of newer stations in Berlin. It seems quiet, underused. That could be because it's located in the south of the city. It was built to provide a railway hub for people living in South Liverpool and a link to Liverpool John Lennon Airport. The walls are opaque, like Japanese screens. What's on the other side? Residential houses. Liverpool South Parkway was built where different lines converge, merging two former stations into one. To the left, Warrington, Manchester and the northern conurbations. On the right, Crewe, Birmingham and London. At one time it was proposed the new north-south high-speed rail line, the so-called HS2, would come here, bringing connectivity and prosperity to the north. But it was gradually cut back, and finally this week the extension of the high-speed line from Birmingham to Manchester Airport and Manchester City Centre was axed by Tory PM Rishi Sunak. The reason? The UK can't afford it. Liverpool South Parkway Airport Link. There was a proposal for tram trains to Liverpool John Lennon Airport, but it was rejected as too expensive. Liverpool South Parkway has a large park and ride area. It's well used by people commuting into the city. Opened in 2006, it cost £32 million, up from an estimated £16 million. Some thought it was a white elephant. At first, many trains didn't stop here, but later they did, and the name of the station had to be inserted into the announcement. It sounded something like, "This train will be calling at Warrington, Widnes,
Liverpool South Parkway
and Lime Street." I wish I'd recorded that. That's the best I could do. The displays show the times of the bus to Liverpool 1 and the plane to Dalaman. The Tiger in the Woods Super Lamb Banana stands in the spacious concourse. Buses to Liverpool Airport are frequent and convenient. When I recently got off the plane from Dublin, I was sitting on the bus in a few minutes and standing in Liverpool South Parkway not many minutes later. The building has many features for disabled people, including these coloured lights around the doors. It's very energy efficient, with plenty of facilities. The station facade makes an impressive statement, echoing the facade of the airport. It looks great at night. But now it's time to head north on the Northern Line to Liverpool Central, our next station stop. And here they are, the long-awaited new trains built by Stadler Rail in the German-speaking part of Switzerland, south of Lake Constance. They are named 777 class, like the plane, sleek, state-of-the-art, but not without flaws. They first went into service in January 2023. We are in the low-level underground part of Central Station. Actually, it's the only part now because the ground-level mainline station was sadly closed in 1972, part of the beaching axe that destroyed much of Britain's railway infrastructure. The station was later demolished, but its presence can still be felt. But at least the low-level station under the ground is in operation, though not quite as overcrowded as the London Underground. Merseyrail never fell victim to Tory privatisation. It's owned by the Liverpool City region, it's efficient and well used. On many lines, trains operate every 15 minutes. The North-South Northern Line, the Cross-River Wirral Line and the eastbound City Line, not fully part of the Merseyrail network actually, bind together the entire city region. That's one of the older trains, which will eventually be phased out. One of the features of visiting a city is hearing the language, and one of the few places where I can record the local accent is on the railway, coming over the public address system. Let's listen. Actually, just before this, she said, "The train on platform 1 is for our lovely brand new station, Headbolt Lane." Sadly, I didn't press the red button in time.
We're excited to announce the opening of Headbolt Lane station. This means there will be some changes in Headbolt Lane line via Kirkby. For more information, please visit our website www.merseyrail.org or follow us on social media at Merseyrail.
Now we are heading northeast to the new station, Headbolt Lane. One design flaw of the new trains is the floor. It has a hump where the wheels are. It's marked with lines, but it caught me out. I nearly tripped up a couple of times. I presume this is so that the floor is the same height as the platforms. Otherwise, the new trains are fantastic. They've been specially designed by Stadler for Merseyrail, and Stadler also operates train depots. From the train window, looking west towards the river, we get a view over the Dockland area. That's the gigantic tobacco warehouse and the Stanley Flight of Locks with the new apartment development, Hartley Locks, which I've featured in a previous video. Still under construction, like Everton's new stadium. The view reminds me of the Liverpool Overhead Railway, but that went right above the docks and the ships. I often dream about that view. By the way, on the train I met YouTuber extraordinaire Jeff Marshall, king of London's railways. His assistant Carl is from Manchester and follows my channel. The train gets its power from the rather scary electrified third rail, but that rail ends at Kirkby, so the train continues on its batteries to Headbolt Lane. Impressive.
I've gone to a brand new station on the Merseyrail network. I've been thinking of doing a feature on Merseyrail, the trains, the infrastructure, the history and other stuff. So I thought I'd do it because this brand new station, one station on from Kirkby, opened on the 5th of October 2023. Today it's the 6th, it's Friday.
So this is what state-of-the-art station architecture looks like. Not quite Italian Renaissance, but clean, contemporary, functional, attractive and well finished. There's bicycle storage, a large park and ride area, a sloping roof with, are those solar panels? A cafe is coming soon. I love the branding on the main entrance with the 1965 British Rail symbol and the new Metro Smart logo with its orbiting dots. The brand new 777 is ready to fly back along the rails to Liverpool Central. We're looking out over the docks again. That's the Bramley Moor Stadium, the Titanic Hotel, the Tobacco Warehouse, the Stanley Flight and Hartley Locks still under construction. I wish they'd cut down those weeds blocking my view. That's the Kingsway Tunnel ventilation shaft and one of the many lorries coming out of the docks. Now we're descending under the ground, soon arriving into Moorfield Station. The doors on the trains have those strip lights similar to the ones at Liverpool South Parkway. And now we're back at Liverpool Central, and the empty train heads into the tunnel before it will return to make its next journey, which will only be as far as Kirkby. Only hourly trains to Headbolt Lane are in operation at the moment. Yes, that corrugated metal cover stuck up on the wall isn't quite as magnificent as some metro stations around the world I could mention. Let's go up and take a look at the ground level former mainline part of the station. Plaques remind us of its recent history, development and funding, including substantial ERDF support. There's the Merseyrail M and a multilingual welcome, Ukrainian highlighted. Laskavo prosimo. Now let's listen to some more station announcements.
Train arriving on platform 2 is your Southport service. All stations to Southport remain behind the yellow line until the train has come to a complete stop.
Train now on platform 1 is to Headbolt Lane.
We're excited to announce the opening of Headbolt Lane station. This means there will be some changes to the Headbolt Lane line via Kirkby. For more information, please visit our website www.merseyrail.org or follow us on social media at Merseyrail.
Once again, this is your Southport service. Allow passengers off before boarding. If any passengers require the lift, it's at the far left-hand side of the platform. If Using the escalators, please take care, hold the handrail and stand to the right. Have your tickets and passes ready for inspection at the automatic ticket gate. This is your self-board service, all stations to self-board.
At the far end of the concourse, printed onto the doors, are tantalising translucent photos of the old Liverpool Central station. I love the three-wheeled car and the steam engine, and one of the old Merseyrail trains that operated from the 30s to the 70s. The magnificent front facade was sadly demolished. If only we could just walk through those doors and into the past. But there is a way we can do this.
Let's make our way down the escalator. This is my favourite exhibit in the Museum of Liverpool, the restored Liverpool Overhead Railway carriage, and part of a station, and also a model of the route. It was fantastic, Liverpool Overhead Railway, I love it, even though actually I'm too young to remember it. The views over the docks as you went up and down, absolutely fantastic. What an asset it would be today. But I have a plan.
The seats remind me of the old S-Bahn trains in Berlin from the 1930s. At the front, the guard, not the train manager. In the rear, the passengers, not customers. The driver in uniform with a hat and a moustache. Car number 3 to Dingle, the last station at the southern end of the Liverpool Overhead Railway. This is a model of the route along by the docks. My plan is to reinstate the central part of the line as a monorail as far as Bramley Moor Dock. But would my plan ever get the green light? I got the idea when I visited the Tama Monorail in Japan, south of Tokyo, in 2005. It's ideal for the hilly terrain, and it can wend its way through urban areas supported on tall pillars with a small footprint. Could you imagine this two-way monorail line following the route of the overhead railway, snaking past the docks and the Liver building? Here's my visualization. It's a montage of 2 photographs done in Photoshop. I've painted it in Merseyrail colours. And here it is, heading north towards Bramley Moor, passing the White Star building. And this is the original photograph taken in Japan. And there's the montage with the Strand and James Street. I think it's a great idea, ideal for this location, and I think it would pull in tourists from all over the world. But can we imagine what the response from London would be? In your dreams, we can't afford it. But if the UK can't, maybe the Liverpool City region can. We'll head down into James Street Station. The old-style train leaves the station to reveal an incredible real-life museum. Part of the old station has been left as it was, with old signage, vintage adverts, and the old-fashioned stairs. When the loop tunnel was built between 1972 and 1977, this platform was no longer needed. It's like gazing into the past. Here is another announcement.
This is customer information announcement. Whilst waiting for your train, please stand on behind the yellow line until the train comes to a complete stop.
And now we head back across the Mersey and over to the northwest part of the Wirral to a very special station. It's Hoylake Station, rebuilt in 1938 with a distinctive Art Deco influenced design. It's Grade 2 listed. It's been voted best kept station in Wirral. Just look at that superb booking hall with the circular roof and the beautiful circular light in the middle. There are some stations on the London Underground like this. Jeff Marshall would be able to tell you all about them on his channel. That's the level crossing warning sound in the background. Another train has arrived. It's heading for West Kirkby and passes the level crossing with a big scary spark from that third rail. Now it's time to head back into the city centre. We go up the escalator and we're back at Lime Street Station, which needs no introduction. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, post a comment and share with others who might find this video interesting. And for the history of Merseyrail, I recommend the Merseyrail channel. That's with a W instead of an R. Link below. I've really enjoyed this trip around the Merseyrail network, but really I've only scratched the surface. There's so much to the history, heritage and unique character of the Liverpool region. But very soon I'll be doing a similar trip around Manchester's Metrolink system. Check it out above when it's ready. Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen und auf Wiedersehen in Liverpool.